Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Podvision. My name is Angel Camanzuli. This is Kyra Harder, and we are the liaisons for Tarpon Total Healthcare. We're a local chiropractic office located in Tarpon Springs. And we are here with our brand new Podvision called I Stand Corrected. And so we're very excited about this. I've been specifically excited about this Podvision for you and I, because as we are growing with our chiropractic office, which by the way is only one location. We don't have multiple locations. It's just one. And we're doing some really cool things. And so, but this is your big debut.
Yay.
Yay. So let's talk a little bit about Tarpon Total Healthcare before you came on board. So prior to you coming on board, and so I've been with Dr. John at this point for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And which I have come to understand, I'm like a veteran of war in the marketing world. Because I mean, it's just, evidently, it's just not something that is a long-lived adventure for a person who does marketing. Okay, well, I'm down for breaking status quos because it's clearly not me. I love working where I work, and you and your husband are a big part of that for me now as well. So before y'all came on board, Dr. John had not had anybody for marketing consistently for many, many years. There was a lady named Roxanne a long time ago, and I'm sure you've heard about her.
Yeah.
Much taller than me, that lady, and people loved her, and they loved the connection that she made with the community and Tarpon Total Healthcare, which I knew absolutely nothing about. All I knew was her name and that Dr. John just loved her, and everybody in the office did. So that's wonderful. Yeah. So here he hires me, and I said, "So what is my official position?" And he said, "Well, I want you to be everywhere and know everybody." I was like, okay,
Easy.
all right.
No.
Yeah, easy. And I mean, and it's not been difficult. That's my personality type. And it's been something brand new for me. I didn't realize that I've spent my whole life marketing, if you will, but it's just really connecting people. And so in my endeavors, I've taken care of the social media. We really didn't have much of a social media presence. I have found some rogue things out there that other marketing people that he's had for short periods of time, like they could just kind of started their own thing and nobody knew anything about it until I started doing some social media reputation management. And then the guy that we work with found a number of things that we had to get rectified because nobody knew who did it, who started it. So I was able to start a centralized process in our office, and it was something that we just didn't have. And so then Dr. John said, well, let's start doing events. I love going to events. I love going to the events. I love hyping the events. I love,
being in the dunk tank.
Bringing in the dunk tank. I will always volunteer as tribute for the dunk tank. But I was a one-woman show as far as marketing. And also, I don't like that word. So when he said I was going to be the director of marketing, I had designed some name tags for myself. And I was like, I hate that. I don't like it. I don't like it. It sounds so salesy, and I'm not salesy at all.
Yeah.
It's not relationship-driven, that word, to me. So that was when I heard it was a commercial on TV, I think. And somebody had said, I was like, oh, I know how to spell liaison. That's actually what I am. A liaison is a bridge. And so here I'm out here getting to know everybody in all the places, just like he told me to do. Liaison is a far more appropriate role for me. And so I did one event for our office, and it turned out great.
And that was the Meet the Docs.
That was the first Meet the Docs. And so the whole point and purpose of that was to introduce everyone to Dr. Josh, which is why I chose the name Meet the Docs. Both of them, obviously, Dr. John was going to be there. Everybody in the area knows Dr. John. He's been there for 32 years this year, and that's the only place he's ever been. So, but I wanted everybody to have the opportunity to meet Dr. Josh. I didn't want Dr. Josh to feel like he's stepping into someone else's shadow that he was never going to be able to get out of, because he's got a very great reputation, and which is a blessing. Oh my Lord, it's such a blessing. And so anyway, that one turned out fantastic, and it ended up being more like a networking meeting. A lot of the people that are in different networking areas that I'm in, or that I was in at the time, they showed up, and then a number of them scheduled. They had no idea that our office did so many things, and so that was my experience up till that. And meanwhile, I'm doing small business spotlights. I'm going and meeting and connecting with the small business owners, which is my personal favorite. Doing the networking meetings. I started getting invited to speak at different places. So, and then I was exhausted.
You were doing a lot.
It was a lot. Excuse me, for one person, and then my email was out of control. And I've told people.
I remember those
folks. Email is where business goes to die for me. And I don't want it to be that way. But when you're in your vehicle driving, I mean, that's the last place that you should be doing, looking at your phone and stuff like that. So I don't have a lot of that kind of disposable time. And once I get home, I want to be with my family. So I had already talked to Dr. John about, we need to consider bringing on an assistant. He laughed. He thought that was cute. And I'm pretty sure his wife thought the same thing. And I was just like, well, I don't want to miss any opportunity in the community, especially the communities where my face is representing our name here. And I need some help. We had talked about June. So I said, my birthday, right around my birthday, I'm going to need to consider strongly having somebody on part-time, at least, to take care of my email. We started talking about that in September of last year. We had grown at that point. It was bigger than me. And I'm not very big, but it was way bigger than me. Just for one person to continue with that momentum. Yeah. So you were working for a daycare.
Yes.
Correct. And so I'm going to switch this now. This part of the story goes over to you, because when our worlds collided, like, it was a beautiful collision, but it felt like
meant to be.
It was meant to be. It felt a little bit like an albatross landing, if we're being honest, because we've never done anything like this before. You've never done anything like this before. And so, but it wasn't messy. It actually has been fantastic from even the beginning.
Just helping with their emails.
Yes. That was a great start.
Eyes went cross-eyed by the end of the day. There's so many.
So here you came on board. Dr. Josh was already working with us, which, by the way, your husband is incredible. I'm so very proud that he is a chiropractor at our office, but I'm really proud of the opportunity to get to know him as a person. He's really a great young man.
Yeah, I got really lucky.
Yes, you did. Yes, and he did too. So, so you were working in your field that you had gone to college for?
Yeah, so I'm originally from California, and I graduated from California State University of Sacramento with a degree in child development with a concentration in early development care and education, which sounds very fancy.
A whole lot.
But it's just, being in the daycare setting. I worked as a substitute teacher, went to different age groups. So I worked with infants, preschoolers, toddlers, school-age kids. And at that point in time in college, I was just trying to find the good fit. And I really liked working with the toddlers.
I feel like one some days. Go ahead.
And as soon as I moved out here to close that long distance relationship that Josh and I had after he moved out here for chiropractic school, I started nannying for a 3-month-old baby. And I was with him until he was a year old, until they were moving to Lutz instead of St. Pete. So it was just too far of a drive for me. So I went back to being a substitute and working with toddlers, and I used to love it. I really do love kids. But like, when it comes to us getting married and trying to plan our families out, and just a lot of factors went into it, where it was like the management, the quality of the childcare that I was at primarily, I felt like it was ruining kids for me. So that's why, like, you came at the perfect time. You said, it was like, oh, are you interested in working for Tarpon Healthcare? I'm like, yeah, kind of, because it got bad at the place I was working at. So I was entertaining the idea. I wasn't interested in doing front desk because I don't do phone calls. I
It's
don't
just not
want
the
to
fit for you.
Yeah, I don't want to work at the office. I'm just like not an office person. And
I feel that.
yeah, so when you told me that you need an assistant mainly for emails, and you showed me how many emails you had, I'm like, yeah, you need help.
Oh, I need so much help.
So yeah, for a while I was working part-time at the childcare, part-time as your assistant at that time. That job that you and Dr. Huey created for me to work there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I could do it in my downtime, and it just evolved. I mean, I was hired on in October, so a month before the 40+2 event on November 4th.
Yeah.
And that was my first event, and that was insane. Like I got a lot accomplished within a month, and it was a hit. Like I had a lot of
really
fun.
was.
You had a lot of fun in the dunk tank.
I stayed in the dunk tank as long as I could, and then Josh got
You got
in
to
there
work out just because you kept getting slammed down. Yeah.
I talked a lot of crap.
Yeah,
in
we're
the
going to have it
communities.
again in June for our veterans event.
Yeah.
So
I'll be
good
there.
luck to you. But yeah, I knew, like, I'm a very organized person. I like planning things out. Josh, for our vacations, I plan out the whole itinerary, driving time included, and he just drives wherever the GPS tells him to go. Like, I like planning out things, and like I knew it was going to be a great fit. And I've definitely learned a lot from that first event with only a month preparation.
Yeah.
And I've been planning this veterans event, which is kind of my baby right now. That's going to be happening on June 2nd. And that's months of preparation. And we've already raised so much money for Canine Partners for Patriots. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. And just all my roles at the office. Like, I love my job.
Yeah. And it shows.
Yeah.
I love mine, and it shows. Everybody knows where it is that I work, because I proudly talk about it even on my off time. The things that we have been able to jointly accomplish, one of them is sitting here. So this was the best $50 investment at Walmart that I could have just proposed to Dr. John. I was like, I really want to get this. I mean, it makes sense.
It's a fun marketing tool.
It is.
Everybody
And
stares at
look,
me when I'm
where's your
carrying
little
it.
pointer thing? Listen, I saw that. It was a back scratcher, and you
And
used
my
that.
stress ball. But yeah, I like how much fun we could have with the marketing.
We do. We do.
Yeah.
And Dr. John gives a lot of leeway for creativity. And so just for us to be ourselves within our roles. And but it created a little bit of confusion in the beginning. And
It was fun.
so it was for the 40+2 event, and I will never forget, because I felt so bad. I had said, we had talked about, like, go up and down Tarpon Avenue, introduce yourself, make sure that you tell them where you're from. And I didn't think anything about, like, what any type of response was going to be. I have made some very good friends with some of the local business owners there. Sherry with Brush Tip Studios is one of them. Love her. Tula from Tula's Trailside Cafe. Tracy Swade over at Currents. And so, it wasn't, I was like, oh, well, go and talk to these people. Go talk to Chris. And then you came back and you were like, well...
Yeah, that was fun. Like I was trying to get raffle prizes for the 40+2 event.
Right.
And yeah, I set aside time of the day to just go business to business and just be like, hey, can you please donate a raffle prize if you are able to? All the proceeds are going towards the Ronald McDonald House. And they're like, where's Angel? I'm just like,
so bad.
Oh, Angel, she's networking right now, and I'm the event director and the community liaison. So I'm going to be the one to engage with the community when it comes to events. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
And then I go to the next place. Hey, I'm Kyra Harder. I'm the community liaison and event director at Tarpon Total Healthcare. I was wondering if you wanted to donate a raffle prize for our event on November 4th. Where's Angel? I'm like, okay. And just like, I feel like every time that happens to me, I texted you like, "Aw," just like it happened again.
And I didn't like it because I had no idea that anything like that was going to be an experience of yours. But as we have launched more out into the communities, and I've been introducing you and stuff, the natural confusion that comes is, okay, Angela, are you quitting? No,
No.
absolutely not. love
You're gonna
this
be with
place.
us forever.
I'll be in my little walker. um, and two, is Kyra taking your job? No. Kyra has a very defined role, but there is a lot of overlap, if you will, that we do, because one of the greatest benefits that we didn't exactly plan for was you stepping into networking with our office. And I knew that it was there. I saw it in you. I knew it was going to take a little bit for it to come out. And I knew that it would. Dr. Josh, we put him in a very specific networking group close to our office in Tarpon Springs, and it helped him come out of his shell quickly.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. And just conversationally, and he's so funny. People just don't understand how funny your husband is, and you for that matter. But so, and I just remember you were shaking.
Because he made me sing a song.
But then you took off.
Yeah.
You took off. And so we're doing things in the office now, the additional components of what our tiny little chiropractic office is making some really good ripples in a very large pond. If you think about the Nature Coast corridor that we live in, and we're at the tail end of that corridor area, and the things that we're doing, I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of the two things specifically that you've done. So one of them is the event that you're talking about.
Yes.
That is your good.
My pride and joy.
Yes, you do so good at planning events. Yeah. And so this veteran event is talk a little bit about that really quick too.
Okay, so it is an event benefiting Canine Partners for Patriots.
Right.
We have some sponsorships available, and so far, a month and a half out, we have $4,000 raised.
Oh my gosh.
And then we still have two sponsors that said that they're going to sponsor. They just need to choose the amount. So I feel like we're going to get that $5,000 mark.
That's so great.
A month and a half out, which is insane. And I've talked with a representative from Canine Partners for Patriots, and I keep in touch with her regularly, and she's just overjoyed. Like, she can't believe like how much we're doing. And we're going to have veteran-owned businesses as vendors.
Yeah.
I wish I had a list right now so I could just
Well, one of them is Tactical Roofing.
Tactical Roofing.
Adam Bordeaux.
Brendan with Stumpy's Hatchet House. Thomas Holcomb with Aqua Blue Apparel and Aqua Blue Pool Service. Like, there's so many. Michael Carley with Top Notch Pest Control, which are amazing. I use them for my house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to have veteran-owned businesses. We are going to have a dunk tank, again, for you to talk smack to people and get people to dunk you.
I mean, it worked. It worked really well.
It did work. We have Gabriel Events as our DJ again. He was at our 40+2, and he really rolled with the punches.
Yeah.
We have a prize raffle, and I really wish I could enter into the prize raffle, but there's that conflict of interest. But there's like free horseback riding for 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Poke Company said that they're going to donate free catering for 10 people.
Love Anthony.
Like, just the list really does go on. Oh, a free escape room.
Yeah.
A time trap escape room. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I feel like I'm missing so much.
Well, and that one's coming up in June, so it's going to be the first Friday in June. So we're kind of, tagging right along with the Merchants Association with First Friday in Tarpon Springs. So that's going to be an awesome add, I feel like, to that event that was already planned for. And now they get to start the, everything, one block further, closer to 19.
We also have 2 food trucks, Hartley's Pork Pies and Case Cups.
Right.
So we have a dessert truck and little chicken pot pies and pork pies.
Listen, you have no idea how.
And they're veteran-owned too.
Yep. Dan Dory, fantastic guy. He's one of them that I know. Adam Bedreau's the other one. The other thing that you have launched, which I'm super excited about, is
Da, 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 da.
So when you picked the name for this, I was like, oh, Dr. John is going to say, what is happening? And he, to my surprise, because BYOB historically stands for, bring your own booze of some sort, And so you pulled that off so well.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of acronyms because there's prosperity networking groups, so that's PING.
Right.
Like, I'm just trying to think of something because it makes it more memorable if you could have an acronym with it. So yeah, I decided to launch this at like 11:58 at night. I just created a Facebook group and invited all my networking friends, and we got like 100 people overnight.
Yeah.
Which was insane. So I was like, we should do our own networking group and host it at Tarpon Total Healthcare, bring people to the office. And yeah, our first one, we had around like 60 people.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was such a great turn. I met so many new people. There were so many people I didn't recognize as well as familiar faces. And yeah, I'm just blown away by the traction that it's gotten. And we have the next one tonight, and we started getting food sponsors, which is insane.
It's fantastic for all of the great reasons.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of that sense of like, I can't believe I pulled that off, or like, I still don't I don't know how this happened. I'm like still in shock, just because it grew so quickly.
Yeah.
And what I'm most grateful for is just it helped people like differentiate me and you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, instead of people asking, oh, where's Angel or anything like that, they actually know my name.
Well, that was the part that hurt me so bad. I had no idea that the response that you were going to get was, where's Angel? Mm-hmm. And then the other response that I'd never expected to get either was that like there's some sort of a feel of competition between us if I'm not quitting, which I'm not quitting. I love this place.
Gotta look into the camera for that one.
So explaining to people how it is that we actually work like elbow to elbow. The things that you're part of that I'm not part of, I still support you, and vice versa. And our office has grown just in recognition we have a lot of fun no matter what room we show up in, especially if it's together. We have so much fun.
Yeah.
And this is just one of the ways, but this was a really big way. So open networking, it's not a mixer, even though that might look like it would be.
We give away a bottle of wine though for a raffle.
And we make the wine.
Yes.
At Grape Expectations and Holiday.
They're amazing.
Really, really good wine. So we give away stuff like that and other businesses that have raffle prizes. Another thing that we do in the community too is, I don't know if this is going to be able to be seen very well. We're going to try
kind of.
So Small Business Spotlight is one of the heart, I believe it is the heart of the connections that Tarpon Total Healthcare makes as a bridge. And so as a small business owner, there are many who will offer like some sort of benefits to their employees, but they themselves don't have any benefits of their own. They don't have health insurance or, other things. Like, what are you going to do if you get sick and you can't make it? They think about maybe their employees, but they don't take themselves into account. So Dr. John and I had a really good conversation in the beginning of my tenure there, where I was like, what can we do for these business owners? And so the plan that we came up with has been a great one that you've come alongside me and you've helped me so much with your own network and circle of people that you know on your own. And then promoting the Small Business Spotlight, picking just a rock star business. They're doing great business in the community and promoting them for a month long. And so I think this month is White Crane Clinic.
Yes.
And we have got a fantastic relationship with them. You are there with a small area of like regularity.
They give amazing facials. Josh goes there for acupuncture to help with his sleep. And we need to go more often, honestly.
And I love their staff.
They got an amazing crew.
Yeah. So the things that we're doing are not expected, and that's the response that I've always gotten. Well, wait a minute, what is it that you do? Why are you doing that if you're a chiropractic office? Why are you promoting another business? Because for all the good reasons.
They deserve the recognition.
They do. And it doesn't happen often in the way that it should, as far as like there being that level of organic. There's no well, if you give me this, then we'll do this for you. That we don't do that. We actually are just proud to recognize other small businesses that are out there doing well, are doing their best in the community, and we just want to put them out there too. And it does feel good to hear thank you and things like that, but it feels so much better to put a smile on their face and then point other people in their direction, because they're a good small business. And we're proud as a small business. It's not my business, Tarpon Total Health, but Dr. John does let me kind of treat it as if it is, and same thing with you. And it also helps, your husband is one of the chiropractors there too, so that makes even more sense for you. But so to be able to go out and have so much leeway and freedom to network in a non-traditional kind of way, as I'm told, it's the greatest way to spend your work week. Oh my goodness. Makes
it fun.
It does. It makes it so much fun. And, dragging this guy around by his throat all the time. You're part of Power Gals. You started a Power Gals chapter. And so Snappy Spine is everywhere. And I found that shirt for him at Urban Grounds right down the road. I was like, oh, it's like a self-portrait. He's holding coffee. It's so much fun. Yeah. And
it's fun bouncing ideas off of each other too.
At like 1:00 in the morning. But it is, it's so much fun. And working with Dr. Josh, I can't wait to get him on the show. And so he can tell his story. Dr. John, I think is going to be next. So, cause I don't think that his story is one that's known very well. That all of the other things that we do, they can all be found on our Facebook page, thanks to you and to me, on our website, on our YouTube channel. This has just been a lot of fun. I'm so glad to be able to officially roll out the name Kyra Harder as our community liaison and event coordinator for Tarpon Total Healthcare. So this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I ditched the stress ball.
You'll be the next one in this seat.
Oh, no.